What is that noise?
Oh no. Well, looks like I'm gonna have to replace the drain now.
Smash Engineering.
Welcome to this episode of Smash Engineering. Today, we're going to be replacing the drain on a kitchen sink, and I'll kind of be going through how to use that, or how to do that. Also, how to use plumber putty if you've not used plumber putty before. This is my first time actually using it. I've watched other people use it, but this is my first time actually doing it. So we'll go over that, and we'll show how the process works. So buckle up, and let's get started. All right, first we're going to take this clamp off. Take that off. I'm going to put that, shouldn't be any water in it, but I like to put things down into a bucket just in case any residual. And also take a junk towel, if you have like a shop towel or your Radius towel, you know, you got rips in it or whatever, you don't care about it. Put it down here because there could be gunk and stuff inside of here. But yeah, there's been some issues with this for a while, like this broken like that. And this is how it was when I bought the house, so it's been in need. But yeah, today actually, yeah, that's like at a weird angle even in there. But today I saw water dripping over this ledge and running down, and of course it's all dirty in here from it, or I guess not water necessarily, whatever was draining down the sink. But yeah, so now I'm going to go ahead and loosen this bottom piece so that this is free. Loosen all these fittings and get all this out of here, and we'll be replacing it with one nice clean piece. And this will go up in there, and it'll actually keep it a lot cleaner. I do have an issue here where the bottom of this is not, maybe it is, maybe it's not long enough, but I have a solution for that in case it is. And I know some of you say, well, hey, that's not necessarily the right way, but they sell it, so we'll use that excuse. But yeah, this goes on the bottom. Sorry, I'm doing this one-handed. This goes on the bottom of this to extend this so that it goes nice and deep into the drain there so that you don't have any leaks. So let's go ahead and get it done. I probably won't record actually doing it, just because it's really hard to get your hands and a camera in here. But maybe I'll take pictures along the way and post them in here and maybe voice over them or something. And this is why, what I just found here is why it's important to change everything. If you're, see how this has got like corrosion on it? Look what has happened. Oh, sorry. That has rotted almost to the seal away. And, you know, I don't know if someone before me or whatever put some type of Drano in there, drain cleaner or something, but you don't want to do that when you have metal pipes. It's corrosive. Something was definitely very corrosive to this pipe. But yeah, let's keep moving on. I did get it off this side as well. So now it's just a matter of removing that stuff. All right, like I said before, I was loosening up right here, just this one, and look at that. That whole pipe is rusted straight through. Ooh, I need to count my blessings because that could have been leaking like crazy. And this, I did put, and this is something I'll recommend to everyone, put a rubber liner in here. Usually when you get a leak at first, it's just a small drip. I don't know how long this was dripping for, but I just had a small little bit on this rubber mat and I was able to wipe it off. It didn't, you know, destroy the wood, because it seems like every sink you go into in a house that's over 20 years old, under here is just destroyed from water damage. So just a little quick trick for you is just to get that. They have it, and you can use anything, but I used like what you put in your like cabinet liner. That's what I used, but make sure you get one that's waterproof. Are you working under your sink and you can't get the nut loose because it's all rusted like it shouldn't be because you paid extra for the stainless steel one? Well, look no further to a Cano Aero-Croil. No, okay guys, so here's what I'm dealing with. And Croil, if you want to sponsor me, I know your stuff's like 90 bucks a can. Just like send me one can and I'll plug you in every video. All right, that's fair. this was rusted really bad and I was not getting it out. I was starting to actually twist the steel on the sink. So I sprayed it with a little bit of Croil up inside. There's a little small little gap in here. I sprayed it until I saw it come out the threads here. And then I tapped on it, wait a little while. And I know guys, this isn't the right tool, but I make these videos for the average person. And let me tell you, the average person can't afford another mortgage for a $1,200 tool set. So we're gonna show you how to do it with channel locks. Oh, this is just amazing. I should probably cover the drain with something, maybe like a Meyer bag or something, because we don't want random junk falling down in there. So yeah, tip number 1, do that. Let's cover that so no rust bits fall down in there, although it probably won't hurt anything, but you know. But yeah, so now I'm gonna take this off, and this was just seized. Now this side probably won't give me as much trouble, and these were put on at the same time. I don't know why this side is so bad and the other side isn't. These weren't necessarily the problem, although it looks like this one was going to become a problem sooner or later. But yeah, that Croil is just amazing. Oh, I don't know if I showed in the video, but this here, this was supposed to be one piece. This is that piece that broke like immediately. So that's supposed to be one piece. So I'm glad I saw this when it was just a drip, and you know, didn't find it once my feet got wet. All right, well, so we're back here 16 hours later. It doesn't want to come off here, as you can see. So what I did was I went and got a shotgun, and I aimed it so that I wouldn't hit the sink, and I put a bunch of lead and stuff here to catch, and then I shot it. You can see what it did there, and no, I didn't actually shoot it, but you might want to when you're doing it. But I did get it to come down a little bit. I'm just going to keep prying around there, so, you know, don't feel too defeated. Be real careful about your sink, unless you plan on replacing the sink, and then you won't be caring about this. But you need the sealing surface to stay relatively flat so that the new one can seal on there. So haven't started that side yet. That side, you know, this side's going to go way better. We're going to channel real good positivity over there, and that side, the side's going to come off really easy. I already did Croil this side just to be safe, but you can see the vast difference. You know, that's the Pride Lands. This is everywhere the sun doesn't shine. You see? Anyway, I'll start recording again once I get this off. All right, so I didn't have the right wrench to get that loose, so came up to my neighborhood Menards, and they had the right wrench, so we're good to keep going now. All right, for the next part, we're gonna put a bucket, a Tupperware container, whatever, underneath here, and then you need to clean off the old putty. I'm gonna use this, it's a body tool for cars, but it's not gonna damage the sink. You just go around and scratch off, get rid of all the old stuff like that, make a clean surface for your new putty. All right, once you got that all clean, you need to do the same thing to the bottom side, and we'll go ahead and do both of these, and then when I'm applying the putty, we'll be back. All right, so we're not in my kitchen anymore. We're now in Menards. When you buy these, it doesn't tell you, but you need some of this plumber putty, because there's a gasket in here that goes on the bottom. There's like a rubber gasket. On the top, however, where it seals to the sink, you have to put some of this plumber putty compound. So I've never used it before. My first time is gonna be recorded, and we'll see if it leaks. But yeah, this is the only one they really have for that. Don't get the epoxy. Just don't. I'm pretty sure this will permanently, this is more along the lines of like, what's that metal stuff? It's like a metal rebuilding compound. I'll think of it, but that's more along that lines. We need plumber's putty fixture setting compound. So let's head back to the kitchen.
How do you always do this?
So you can look back.
Anyway, I'm hiring for a camera position position thing.
It doesn't pay well.
Really? Really?
What are you gonna hire with?
It pays extremely well.
We'll just leave it there.
So the next thing, once you have your sink clean, you need to clean this off if it's not already clean, which this one is, and take it all apart. And we're going to put the plumber's putty around this and then put it in the hole. But before I do that, I'm going to test fit this just to ensure that I bought the right one. Ooh, fancy. That looks good. Alright. Plumber's putty time it is. So, if you've never used plumber's putty before, you take some of this stuff. I'm going to use a screwdriver to get it out so I don't get it all underneath my nails, but get some of it. And you knead it a little bit, I guess. Oh, it warms up to your hand and then it starts getting easier. And you make it into a snake. And then put it around your... I probably have way too much here, but you can wipe away what you don't use. Yeah, I didn't make it long enough. You can wipe away what you don't use and reuse it. That's what the bottle says. The jug container, whatever. So I'm going to get a fairly even amount there, and then where these two come together, I'm going to actually knead them to be together. Both kinds of knead. The one that starts with a K and the one that starts with an N. If you know, you know.
Dad jokes.
Was that a funny joke? Then this laughs. Alright. So once you have it on there like that, I suppose the next step is to install it. Let's go up top. I don't know how I grabbed the perfect amount. So just to reiterate, even though I've done these before, I wanted to read the instructions. It said, apply a small amount of putty. Small is relative.
It's relative.
Relative. Around the sink, about a ½ inch from the opening. Insert basket strainer into sink opening. Slip large rubber washer and fiber washer. Well, I was going to use this anyway, but because I like this, but apparently that's there to keep this, it makes this slip easier on there. But I was going to use it for that anyhow because I thought that was cool. And thread lock nut A up 2 washers and tighten. Put washer E on tailpiece extension. Connect strainer slip nut D. And test for leaks. So that's all. That's probably way too. It's okay. Yeah, there's way too much putty. That's okay though. It wipes away. They said it wipes away easy. There's way too much putty. And because I'm a perfectionist, I want this line to be straight because why not? All right, now I'm gonna come underneath. Yeah, that's a lot of putty up there. Oh, it's even oozing out here. Yeah, you know what? It's gonna be sealed. That's for sure. So we put the rubber washer, the paper washer up in there, and then they'll cross thread this, but find where it wants to go on it. There we go. How tight do you go? Ootin' tight. Alright, and then they sell this special wrench right here that fits on there. So we're gonna go ahead and give that a try. Okay, so now that we got these installed, after you install these with the putty, go back and check them after you're done with everything, because the putty can ooze out and it can kind of loosen up. So anyway, we're gonna take these. These are the ones that came on the sink. I think the gaskets are the same, but the gasket will go down in this and then it'll tighten up on there. So I'm gonna use the one that the sink pieces came with, just because it could be a smaller, different diameter. But these are the pieces we won't be using, so we've taken those off. These are the ones that come with the sink insert piece. So we're just gonna use the gasket itself. So we're gonna put the gasket on here, facing down, like that. And then I'm gonna start threading this one first. And make sure you're not cross-threading these, because it's easy to do. Just plastic kind of garbage. So we'll get that one snug, and then you loosen this one here, and then that lets you adjust exactly where this is going to go. So we're going to pop that loose, pull this back. Now I can center this one wherever I need it. Why? There's a little bit of tension on that, and I don't like it. There's some putty in there. I don't want putty down my sink. Am I missing a piece on here? I don't feel like I am. But yeah, this is going to be a little bit of tension. It doesn't want to be right up against it. And that's okay. It's plastic. It is kind of weird now that I think about it. Everything should kind of go downhill in a plumber system, and if these are perfectly level, then water can sit in here. It's not really a big deal, but water can definitely sit in there. And then you, after you tighten both of those up, tighten this one up, and we're going to show you our first problem. This is not good. Now I can pull this pipe up, but it still wouldn't be quite where I need it to be. So they sell this piece, which is an extender that will go inside of here. So we'll take that off, put that up on here. And I kind of foresaw this happening because when I held this up to it, it wasn't quite right. Okay, come on. This is the right size, supposedly. There we go. So put that on there. Okay, so I should have probably, hindsight, I should have installed this probably in here. And then, like that. And then you'll push this down on here. And we'll snug this down, but just, yeah, I'm gonna put a mount on this so that this isn't able to move up and down so much. I don't want all that tension on the sink. But anyway, we'll tighten this where it sits comfortably. Right about there. Like that. Oh shoot. Almost made a catastrophic error. I need the nut for that. Which is, oh, the rest of these should be hand tight. This one is a really hard to get tight hand tight, but the rest of these should all be just hand tight. They don't need to be wrenched on. You can go back through after you're done, check them all, make sure I'm all good. And then this is the drain for the dishwasher. So that will go on here like that, and then you tighten this down. This is nowhere near the right size hose clamp here. You can see how much extra there is. I don't even know if you're supposed to put a hose clamp on this, but
Treating it like a car.
well, I don't want it to leak. It is somewhat under pressure, to be honest. When it comes out through here, it pumps it out of there. So, all right, that's tight, that's tight. This is tight. I think we're ready to check for leaks. So, in anticipation for potential leaks, if anything runs on here, it's gonna drip off the lowest point. So I'll put this, first we'll dump that in the garbage so we don't make muddy stuff here. Don't want it going. Don't believe that's good to go down the drain. I doubt it dissolves with water, otherwise you wouldn't use it to seal it. Yeah, there's that clamp blade. I found that a flat blade screwdriver works really well for getting the extra off. I think it turned out pretty good. I got both the notches straight. No, that's not a tattoo, it's airbrushing. I want to hear it. No, I wasn't in the Navy. Let's test some more oozing out. Alright. Now it says check for leaks. So I guess first thing first, I'm going to seal off the bottom and we'll check the seal. This will test, by plugging this, we're going to test just this spot for leakage. So just this spot. So we'll plug those, put some water in. Guess I shouldn't put too much in, because if it is leaking, anything I put in there has got to come out somewhere. Alright, let's go underneath and see what we got. Oh my god! No, I'm just kidding. Everything looks good so far. With the amount of plumber's putty I used, I don't think it's gonna leak for the next probably 100,000 years. Not in that spot. Okay, I'm satisfied with that. Not getting wet anywhere. And if it was leaking, they say you can just tighten these rings a little bit. So we'll pull the stoppers out of this one side. So we're trying to diagnose for leaks. So we're not going to pull them both, because if I start seeing a leak, I'll know it's not from this side. So we'll pull this. Sounds like a very healthy drain. I like it. Don't know that I like these new stoppers. Let's check here. We're checking all these joints here. This looks good. And this did inadvertently test all of this as well. We just tested all this. We haven't tested this one yet, but we've tested all this so far. So now we'll pull the other one. I think a fly flew in front of the thing and made like a shadow, and I thought there was a drip, but I don't see anything. Everything looks good. The only other thing we'll have to check, and I don't foresee any leaks, is when I run a load of dishes, we'll have to check this for any drippage here. So that's how we do it. That is going to pretty much sum this up. I am going to put a bracket on this because I didn't realize how loose this was, the drain part. And yes, the P-trap is not, I don't know if it's perfect to code for right now. but it was like this when I bought it. It's got a little thing here you can take out and like clean out the drain. I think that was the style they used before they had the removable ones. I'd much prefer this to have a removable one, and someday I may switch over to that, but this works just fine. It's never clogged, actually, ever. I've never had this drain back up at all. So what I'm going to do is make a bracket. I'm not going to record it, but I'm going to hold this up with a bracket. That way the weight of this plumbing isn't all sitting on here. There should be a bracket underneath. Actually, that's what I'll do. I'll get under the house and check and see if there's a bracket. Maybe it just came loose or something like that. But there should be a bracket holding it up from underneath. So that's going to pretty much round this out. I hope this video helped you. I hope it gave you the confidence you need. Feel free to criticize me if you've seen something I did wrong, and I don't want to guide people to do the wrong thing. This is just how I did mine. And your setup might be different. Obviously, I bought this house as a foreclosure, so it had numerous weird things like this plumbing, for instance, and then all this puzzle of parts that was put together to make it. Like, that's not even cut straight, you know, but it worked. It worked for the last 15 years, so hopefully this will work for the next 15 or so. This should be a lot easier to work on because there's no metal in it. Everything is just plastic fittings. So I just going to pretty much wrap this one up. If you could take a second, if you made it this far in the video, to go down and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, maybe share this video somewhere on Facebook, somewhere on social media, get me some more views. I'd really appreciate it, and you'd be doing me a favor. But thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.